There's a saying that there are different types or different reasons why people make friends. And listen to some of the common reasons why people make friends. People make friends out of pleasure. You know, there's someone in our life, or someone who comes into our life who provides a lot of fun and lots of entertainment. That person becomes a friend because of pleasure. But when the pleasure goes away, sometimes you see friendship goes away. Many times when boy and girl get together, you ask them, what is the most important ingredient in coming together? And very often you hear about love. Man, I really love that girl, I love that boy. That is why we have come together. Well, when you fall in love, and you define your relationship by falling in love, then it becomes truly that. You fall in love. Love is not the most, at least how it's understood today in the Western world, it is not the most important ingredient in any relationship. The most important ingredient, it is that which is called communication. Communication, it is the most important ingredient, not in boyfriend and girlfriend and husband and wife, but in any relationship. Communication is the most important ingredient. Why? Because when you communicate, you define, you express your expectations, and the other person reciprocates. But what brings about, or what is important about communication, it is understanding. You see, it is one thing to communicate, because if today I say, Billy, I think ABC, and Billy says no about CBA, and I said, Billy, I'm telling you it is ABC, and he's saying no, it is CBA. That is communication, but communication without understanding, it is short of the ultimate goal. And this is why, at the end of it, maybe we will both agree, maybe it could be both ways, or it could be B, C, and then A. Understanding brings friendship. Because if there is no communication and understanding, then friendship could never exist. And many relationships come together out of physical attraction, whether it's within closed doors or otherwise. But you will notice, especially for the elder ones in societies, or those who have been in relationships long enough, where the physical relationship, that becomes second and third and fourth priority in your relationship, but being a friend to that other person becomes most important. When relationships are built based on pleasure, when the pleasure goes away, friendship also goes with it. That's the first reason why people become friends. The second is out of convenience, to gain something. But how is that expressed? And this is very common. And none of these that I'm explaining are wrong, you know. I'm just showing different types of relationships. Whether you call it friendship or not, it is irrelevant. But here's a friendship that is called convenient friendship based on proximity. You see, take for example your neighbors. Your neighbors, you have a good relationship with them. Isn't that so? So you will socialize with them, you will say, hello Sitaram, how you doing? Happy Eid, Happy Diwali, Merry Christmas. And you will engage in laughter and very social conversations. And they become an acquaintance. So you may go so far as saying, that person is your friend out of proximity. But when that person leaves and goes to another village, unless you would have built beyond a friendship of convenience, when proximity goes, friendship goes. Think about it. Then there is friendship out of usefulness. Somebody is very resourceful. Somebody is well connected. You know the right people in the right places. You know, in Trinidad we have a saying, it's not about who you know, it is who know you. Try and go get a birth certificate. Try and go get Chavis here. Try and go get a passport now. You go to try and apply for a passport now, you get appointment for next year. Isn't that so, Chavi? That is how well the system is working. Chavi, for those of you who don't know, he's a very senior immigration officer who is here this morning. It is not a fault with the person, it's a fault of the system. So sometimes when we know somebody, the right person in the right place who is well connected, that person becomes resourceful. Somebody who is very wealthy we sometimes think, well, maybe that person can do something for us. Somebody who's a doctor, somebody who's a lawyer, is very resourceful. So we have friendships out of usefulness. But it is unfortunate when that person's usefulness is no longer. It is a big detriment from a human standpoint when the friendship goes as well. I know many people who have lived their life, who had lots of money. And in having lots of money, when they go to the bar and have a drink, lots of friends. But sometimes circumstances change in life and you don't have as much. Look around. It may not have happened to you, but those friends who were once with them are no longer. Friendships out of usefulness. And you know, there's a third one that is called common enemy. There's a statement that goes, my enemy's enemy is my friend. My enemy's enemy could be my friend. But when that situation no longer exists, then that friend also goes away. We need to think about all the relationships in our life. Not only who we call friend, but even among family members. Think of the relationships between neighbors. Think of relationships within the workplace. Think of relationships in your social environment. Think of your relationships when you go to play cricket. Think of all the relationships you have and define how many true friends do we really have. But the more important question to ask is, how many people am I a true friend towards? You see, growing up for me, I had, as a little boy, my father and mother never allowed me to go online too much. So the little time I used to get was with my uncles, my younger uncles and my aunt, one who is here today. And I grew up with them, not just as uncles and aunts. As a matter of fact, I never call them, maybe it's my shortcoming, I never call them Auntie, Uncle K and Uncle Danny. And they were K and Danny. Why? Because they were more friends to me than family. And you need to rethink all the relationships in your life and find out. And if the answer to yourself is that you are short in any particular way in being there, being sacrificing for that person when they're in need, being truthful, being a source of, that they can be confident in you, and that you can be a trustworthy person in their eyes, then if you can safely say that for at least 3 people, don't even think about 5, if you can say that you are truly a friend to someone for at least 3 people in your life, Bhaya, Dili, you are doing very, very well. Today, I would like to close my brief sermon here this morning to this one. In your life, think of your friends. Think of your relationships. Think of those who mean something to you, but don't let it mean something out of word. Let it mean something out of deed. In every relationship, there will be problems. In every relationship, there will be conflicts. In every relationship, there will be disagreements. But it is more important to resolve your relationship than to dissolve them. My words to close this morning, it is more important to resolve your relationships than to dissolve them. Sometimes, life will throw us stones. It makes no sense running away from situations. It is no sense spitting at the wind. It is no sense criticizing God in this world. What we have to do is, when life throws boulders at us, we need to step on them, make ourselves taller, so when we can see further, we can be better able to venture this journey that is called life. Think of those relationships in your life. Are there true friends in your life? But more importantly, how many people am I a true friend to us?